evening. This is Miss Poopee, the world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News. Today's latest development and latest news is about a very, very important topic. That topic is cloning. As many of you who've been tuning in weekly to the public TV show, and have been following up on what's going on, have realized that Music Girl has been very active for the past year. Not only is she going about interviewing musical bands, but she's also been going about in the outdoors, and she's also been defining words. And it turns out that, that's just a little bit too much work, and it's just too many. Music Girl just has to be at too many places all at the same time. So that just seems to be impossible, because how could she be outdoors and define words and interview bands, at the same time? Because a lot of these things happen at the same time, so it's very, very hard to do. So what has happened is Doctor, who some of you might have remembered from Cloverfield Romance and Dancing Girl, has cloned Music Girl has made 2 clones out of Music Girl, therefore making it a total of 3 people. And this has really helped things out. So we're going to go now, and we have Doctor here with us via satellite, and she's going to explain to us about the cloning process and what happened to Music Girl, and give us more details. And oh yes, the camera seems to have picked up her. There she is. So can you hear me well, Doctor? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly well.
Oh, okay. Okay, Doctor, now can you tell us all of those who are interested, what exactly did you do with Music Girl, and what do each of these clones do?
Oh, yes, the cloning process is a very, very complicated process, but Music Girl turned out to be an excellent candidate for the cloning experiment. I was able to send to her special cloning rays, and what happened, she was able to get cloned very, very easily. There are now 2 clones of Music Girl, and of course there is Music Girl herself, so yes, there will be 3 people. The first clone is going to be called a Zigzag Wanderer, and what she does is she walks around outdoors, quite similar to how Music Girl was doing. And the second person is called the Talking Dictionary. She also looks exactly like a Music Girl, except that she is simply a talking dictionary. And of course we are left with a Music Girl who can now just stick to doing musical things. So it turned out to be really, really great. And these 3 clones, even though they are identical replicas, well, as you can see, they have very, very distinct personalities. But you might notice at times that they might be a little bit similar, but not quite.
Well, Doctor, I must say I'm really impressed at this breakthrough in science. It's really great to see clones of Music Girl, but there are many who believe that cloning could be a bad thing. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that what you've done is a bad thing? And if so, why is it not a bad thing?
Oh, well, it all depends. Cloning can be a very, very bad thing if you start to clone very, very bad people. But sometimes people don't even need to be cloned, because there are so many people that are too alike, and there are too many drones, and they actually never underwent any kind of cloning. They are just all very similar to each other, and that is a huge problem in society today. So cloning is a bad thing if we are going to clone these drones, because instead of millions of drones, we are going to have billions of drones. But if you are going to clone unique individuals, then cloning is a very, very good thing, because what we need is more good people to be cloned.
I mean, cloning good things can never really be a bad thing. Well, I must say, I can't get over at how impressed I am about these clones. Maybe I, Miss Poopee, do need to be cloned. Sometimes it's hard to do both the morning and the nighttime news because you don't get enough sleep. So, that could be something we could all think about. It would be great if I, Miss Poopee Doody, could be cloned. I mean, wouldn't this world be a nice world if it was full of lots of Miss Poopee Doodies like me? Just imagine how that would be. Yes, that was a very nice thing to imagine. Anyway, so, Doctor, back to you now. What would be the opposite of cloning? What would, what do we call that?
The opposite of cloning can be, elimination. Elimination is just, getting rid of people that are not wanted, that serve no true purpose to society. I am working on some, quick ways to, enhance this elimination process, but this is a technology that we have. It has just not been used too often.
What a pity we haven't used that technology to eliminate, the bad things in society that continually get cloned, but in a natural way, strangely enough. But never mind, Doctor, that's just between you and I. Sorry, audience, about that inside joke, but these things do happen nowadays. Okay, now, everybody, so thank you, Doctor, very much for providing us a brilliant insight on this very, very interesting experiment. And thank you very much for cloning musical. So, and thank you for your time and for this interview.
Thank you, Miss Poopee Doody, for having me. And like I said, in this field of medical technology, anything is possible. And how it is that I know all about cloning is, I am a doctor. I know everything.
So, now all of you watching, you all got to keep in mind that Musical has been cloned. You're only going to see Musical occasionally when she interviews musical bands. And then you're going to see the Zigzag Wanderer, who's going to be outside wandering in a zigzag way. And she is going to look a little bit like Musical, but it's a very different person. You see, the responsibilities are different, and it's a different person even though they look alike. And the other person will be the Talking Dictionary, who is going to also look like Musical, and she will be defining words, as you've heard Doctor say. So please don't be confused when you suddenly see the clones appearing all over the place, but, you must know, these clones, they always hang out together, so it's possible that some of the mannerisms might be similar, and they also tend to borrow each other's clothing from time to time, as you've seen in, in some of the footage that you might see. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and just remember, cloning is good only if you clone good things. So once again, this is Miss Poopee Doody, world's most determined reporter, reporting for Channel 666 Eyewitness News.